Hi everyone, welcome to math class with me, Miss Alice. Now we come to the next topic of algebra, which is simultaneous equations. And here are the learning objectives. After you watch this video, I hope that you'd be able to solve simultaneous equations and solve problems using simultaneous equations. Please prepare yourself with your notes, pay attention to the explanations, and do the exercise in the middle of the video. Have you ever go to a concert before? Let's check this problem. A ticket at a concert costs either £10 or £15. The total takings from sales of the tickets was £8,750. Sales of £10 tickets were 2 times the sales of £15 ticket. There's a question here. How many tickets were sold? So, can you find how many £10 tickets and how many £15 tickets sold for the concert? Well, actually, you can get the answer using simultaneous equations. So, what is simultaneous equations? Simultaneous equations are two or more algebraic equations that share variables. So remember, there should be at least two algebraic equations and they are sharing the same value of variables. For example, 2x plus y equals 10 and x minus y equals 2. So, these simultaneous equations consist of two equations and they are sharing the same value of variable which are x and y. Can you make another example of simultaneous equations? It can be a plus b equals 5 and 2a minus b equals 10. We have forms another simultaneous equations, or it can be also in form of fractions just like this. Equals 1 and 3 over a plus 1 over b equals 5. There are two equations and they are sharing the same value of variables. And now, we have to solve some simultaneous equations. But what does it mean? Solving simultaneous equations means finding the value of variables satisfies both equations simultaneously. So, to solve 2x plus y equals 10 and x minus y equals 2 means you need to find values of x and values of y that make both equations true at the same time. So how to get x and y that satisfy these both equations? One of some method that you can use is the try and error method. So you can try some values of x and substitute it into the equations try. Yeah, let's try. What about x is 4 and y is 2? Let's try it. So let's say x is 4, so 2 times 4 plus y is 2, so plus 2. 2 times 4 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10. Oh, so for x 4 and y 2, the first equation is correct. So what about the second equation? X is 4, 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Oh, it's correct as well for the second equations. So we can accept that x equals 4 and y equals 2 as the solutions for these simultaneous equations. But is try and error method is optimal method to find or to solve the simultaneous equations? I don't think so, because your time will be wasting to trying x is 1, y is what numbers, right? You have to try one by one. So I will show you one method that will be easier and simple for you to solve the simultaneous equations. What is it? It is elimination and substitution method. To solve pairs of simultaneous equation, you can use elimination and substitution method. So just follow these steps. First, use the elimination method to get rid of one of the variables. So you need to eliminate one variables of the two equations. And after you get rid the variable, just find the value of one variable. So you have the value of one variable now. And after that, find the value of remaining variables using substitution. How? Just substitute the value of variable that you got before to one of the equations in the simultaneous equations. Okay? And after that, you will get the final answer. You will get the value of 2 or the remained all the variables. Okay? After you got the final answer, don't forget to always check your answer by substituting both values into either of the original equations. Always check your answer. So next we will try to do the example of using eliminations and substitution method to solve some simultaneous equations. Example 1, using elimination and substitution method to solve simultaneous equations. Solve this pair of simultaneous equations. 3x plus 2y equals 10 and 3x minus 5y equals 17. So the first step is you have to eliminate one of the variables. Actually, it's up to you. You can choose x or you can choose y to eliminate first. But it must be easier, as a tip here, it must be easier if you eliminate the variables that have common coefficient or that have the same coefficient here. Yeah, as you can see from both equations, what variables that have common coefficient or the same coefficient? It should be x, right? So we can choose x to eliminate first. So we have to eliminate x first. So how to eliminate 3x from both equation? Actually, you can use or you can choose, you can choose the operation. What operation that can eliminate 3x and 3x here? You can use addition or subtraction. You can use addition or subtraction. It depends on the equation here. So, which operation that's suitable to eliminate 3x from the first equation and 3x from the second equation here? What do you think? It should be subtraction. Why subtraction? Because if you add 3x plus 3x, we will get 6x. So, we not eliminate the x, right, if we use add. So we have to use subtraction. So 3x minus 3x, it should be 0. So 3x is eliminated. So we agree to use subtraction. Okay? So let's subtract the two equations together so we can eliminate the variable x. So let's do this. So if you subtract one term here, so you need to do the same thing for the other terms. So you need to subtract all terms. It's not only 3x. But let's start from 3x first. 3x minus, the operation is subtraction, right? Minus 3x. It's 0. So you don't need to write it down. And after that, 2y minus, here 2y minus negative 5y. 2y minus negative 5y. There's a double of negative sign here. So negative times negative should be positive. So 2y plus 5y, we will get 7y. Right? So put 7y here. And then let's subtract 10 minus 17. What is 10 minus 17? 10 minus 17 is negative 7. So from this step, you can find the value of y, right? You can find the value of y by, sorry, it should be y, by divide both sides with 7. When we divide both sides with 7, we will get y equals negative 1. And now we get the value of y, which is negative 1. So there's one more variable that we have to find out, which is x. So how to get x? So let's find the value of x by doing the substitution method. So we know that y equals negative 1 right here. So we can substitute this value into either of our original equations. So you can choose which equation, so we can substitute the value of y to the equation here. You can choose the first or the second, but in this case I will choose the first equation to substitute the value of y. Okay, so 3x plus 2y equals 10, and then I substitute y as negative 1 here. So 3x plus 2 multiplied by negative 1 equals 10. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So 3x minus 2 equals 10. And then from this equation, we can get the value of x. But first, we need to remove negative 2 first, right? So how to remove negative 2? Add 2 to the both sides. So after we add 2 to the both sides, we will get 3x equals 12. And then one more step. To remove 3, we can divide both sides with 3. We divide both sides with 3, and then we will get x equals 4. And now we get the value of x is 4, and the value of y is negative 1. Actually, that's the final answer, but don't forget to always check your answer. So let's check our answer by substituting both values into either of the original equations. So x is 4 and y is negative 1. Let's substitute it to the one of the equation here. We already used the first equation here, right? So let's use the second equation. 3x minus 5y equals 17. So let's substitute x as 4 and y as negative 1 to the equation. We will get 3 times 4 minus 5 times negative 1. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 1 times negative 5 is plus 5. 12 plus 5 is 17. So the answer is correct, right? So we can accept that the solutions of these simultaneous equations is x equals 4 and y equals negative 1. Example 2 of using elimination and substitution method to solve simultaneous equations. Solve this pair of simultaneous equations. 3x minus y equals 5 and x plus y equals 3. So the first step is eliminate one of the variables. Okay, just like what we did before, there's a tip before we eliminate to choose which variable that we should eliminate is we can eliminate the variable that have common coefficient or the same coefficient. So as you can see here, between these two equations, the variable that have common coefficient is y. So we can eliminate y first. Okay, so this is negative y in the first equation, and in the second equation there is positive y. So what operation that can eliminate negative y and positive y here? We can choose between addition or subtraction, right? So let's try. In the first example, we use subtraction because we can eliminate 3x by subtract them. But if we subtract negative y subtracted by y, negative y minus y, we will get negative 2y. So the variable y won't be eliminated if we use the subtraction. So what about the addition? Negative y plus y. Negative y plus y will be 0. So the suitable operation should be addition. So to eliminate a variable y, we should add two equations together. So there is no more subtraction. It's not always subtraction, right? Okay then, so let's add these two equations. Okay, first let us add 3x plus x. Yes, 3x plus x, we will get 4x. And negative y plus y, we will get 0, so you don't need to write it. And then 5 plus 3, we will get 8. So there's another equation here, which is 4x equals 8. So from this equation, we can get the value of x by divide both sides with 4. Okay, and then after we divide both sides with 4, we will get x equals 2. So the value of x is 2. Okay, so next we will try to find the value of y using the substitution method. We know that x equals 2, right? X is 2. So we can substitute this value into one of this equation. You can choose the first equation or the second equation. It's up to you. But in this case, I will use the second equation. Okay, x plus y equals 3. So I will substitute x equals 2 into the value of x here. So the equation will be like this: 2 plus y equals 3. And from this equation, we can get the value of y by remove 2. How to remove 2? Subtract 2 from both sides. And we will get y equals 1. Okay, we got x is 2 and y is 1. So don't forget the last step, that you have to check your answer. Always check your answer. Let us substitute x is 2 and y is 1 into one of these equations. We already used the second equations for the substitution method. So let's check our answer by substituting x2 and y1 to the first equation. 3x minus y equals 5. So let's substitute x as 2 and y as 1. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then y is 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 equals 5. So this equation is correct. So we can accept that the solution of this simultaneous equations are x equals 2 and y equals 1. Example 3. Solve this pair of simultaneous equations. X plus 2y equals 8 and 2x plus y equals 7. So the first step is eliminate one of the variables. So we need to identify which variable with the same coefficient. But as you can see here, there is no variables with the same coefficient. This is 1x and this is 2x, 2y and 1y. So they are different. So can we solve this kind of problem or this kind of simultaneous equation? Well, actually, yes. But how, right? Well, actually, we can choose which variable that we need to eliminate first. In this case, I will choose x to eliminate, but the coefficient is x of x's in these two equations are different. So we have to make the same coefficient of x in both equations using this trick. Look at this. The coefficient of x in the first equation is 1. And the coefficient of x in the second equation is 2, right? Okay, so the trick is just multiply all the terms in the first equation with 2, which is 2 is the coefficient of x in the second equation, and multiply all terms in the second equation with 1, which is 1 is the coefficient of the x in the first equation, just like this. So multiply 2 to all terms in the first equations and multiply 1 to all terms in the second equation. It's pretty easy, right? Kinda easy. So let's continue the process. Let us multiply all terms in the first equation with 2. So 1x times 2 is 2x, 2y times 2 is 4y, and 8 times 2 is 16. And we will get the new equation here, 2x plus 4y equals 16. And do the same thing for the second equation, 1 times 2x, 1 times y, and 1 times 7. We will get 2x plus y equals 7. So this is how you make x in the same coefficient. And now we have the new simultaneous equation with x in the same coefficient here. After you make x in the same coefficient, we can eliminate x using the subtraction, no addition, right? Because 2x minus 2x is 0. It's eliminated, okay? So 2x plus 4y equals 16 subtracted by 2x plus y equals 7. 2x minus 2x is a 0, eliminated. 4x minus y is 3y. And 16 minus 7 is 9. So from this equation, we can get the value of y by divide both sides with 3, right? So after we divide both sides with 3, we get y equals 3. So now we got the value of y. Next, we will find out the value of x using the substitution method. So let's substitute 3 as the value of y to one of these equations. Yes, so you can choose the first equation, the original one, this one, the original simultaneous equation. You can use the first equation or the second equation, it's up to you. But now I will use the first equation. Yeah, x plus 2y equals 8, and I will substitute 3 as the value of y. So the equation will be like this. X plus 2 times 3 equals 8. 2 times 3 is 6. So x plus 6 equals 8. And we can get the value of x by subtract 6 from both sides. And we can get the value of x, which is 2. So the value of x is 2 and the value of y is 3. But remember to always check your answer. Let's substitute x equals 2 and y equals 3 to one of these equations. Okay, so in the substitution method, we use the first equation, right? So for the answer checking, we will use the second equation, 2x plus y equals 7. Substitute 2 as the value of x and 3 as the value of y. 2 times 2 plus 3 equals 7. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So this substitution is correct. Okay, so we can accept that the solutions are x equals 2 and y equals 3. From example 1, 2, and 3, you have learned about how to solve some types of simultaneous equations. Yeah. So now let's try to solve this pair of simultaneous equations. Well, you may pause the video for a while to try to work on this problem. But the simultaneous equations provided here are in the fractions form. Yeah, 4 over x plus 3 over y equals 3, and 2 over x minus 6 over y equals negative 1. So what about this one? The variables are in the denominators. Well, actually, to make it easier, we can transform these fractions into linear by divide the fractions into another variables. As you can see here, 4 over x. We can write 4 over x as 4 times 1 over x, right? And then 3 over y. We can write it into 3 times 1 over y, isn't it? And then the same thing for 2 over x, we can write it as 2 times 1 over x, and then 6 over y, we can write it into 6 times 1 over y. So, well, actually the variables are 1 over x, 1 over y. Okay? So, to make it in the another version, or to make it linear, we can define 1 over x as variable a and 1 over y as variable b. So these simultaneous equations can be written as for a, for a, remember a is 1 over x, plus 3b, remember b is 1 over y, right, equals 3. And then for the second equations, 2a minus 6b equals negative 1. So now it's in the normal or linear simultaneous equations. So it must be easier for us to eliminate and substitute, right? So let's eliminate one of the variable, yeah? Okay, so let's say we have to eliminate variable a first. So we have to make the same coefficient of a in the both equations. So the coefficient of a in the first equation, the coefficient of a is 4, and then the coefficient of a in the second equation is 2. So we have to make it in same. Can we make 2 into 4? Yes, of course, by multiplying all the terms in the second equation with 2. And what about this first equation? Because we have to make 2 into 4, so we don't need to change 4. 4 is still 4. So just multiply all terms in the first equation with 1. Okay? Just like this. And then let us continue the process. Let's multiply all terms in the first equation with 1, and we will get 4a plus 3b equals 3, and then multiply 2 with all terms in the second equation. It means 4b minus 12b, 4a minus 12b equals negative 2. So this is the new simultaneous equations. And after this, we can eliminate one of the variables, which is a. So to eliminate a, we can subtract 4a minus 4a, yeah? So we can subtract 4a minus 4a is 0, and 3b minus negative 12b, there is a double negative, so it will be turned into positive. So 3b plus 12 is 15b, and then 3 minus negative 2, double negative, so it can we can turn it into positive. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So 15b equals 5. So to find the value of b, we can divide both sides with 15, and we will get b equals 5 over 15. We can simplify these fractions, and we got b equals 1 over 3, or 1/3. This is the value of b. Okay, and now we will find out the value of a by substituting 1 over 3 as the value of b to the original equations. Yeah, one of these original equations. So I will substitute it to the first equation here, which is for a plus 3b equals 3, and I will substitute 1 over 3 as the value of b, just like this. 3 times 1 over 3 is 1, so for a plus 1 is 3, and we can subtract 1 from both sides. We will get 4a equals 2, and after that divide both sides with 2, and we got, with 4, and we got 2 over 4. We can simplify these fractions into a equals 1 over 2. So we got the value of b is 1 over 3, and the value of a is 1 over 2, or a half. Yeah, so remember, we're not trying to find out what is a and what is b, but we have to find what is the value of x and what is the value of y, not a and b. So we need to back to the original one. Let's remember that 1 over x is a and 1 over y is b. 1 over x is a, right? It means 1 over x is 1 over 2. A is 1 over 2, right? It means x equals 2. And then remember that 1 over y is b. We got the value of b, which is 1 over 3. So y is 3. So you can do a bit of check here. You can substitute 2 and 3 as the value of x and y to one of these equations, maybe the first equations or the second equation. Yeah, second equation. Let's substitute 2 over 2 minus 6 over 3. So 2 over 2 is 1. 6 over 3 is 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So your answer is correct. Yeah, x is 2 and y is 3. Solving real problems using simultaneous equations. Do you remember the problem in the beginning of this video? Yes, the problem about tickets at a concert. From the problem, we know that tickets at a concert cost either £10 or £15. The total takings from sales of tickets was £8,750. Sales of £10 ticket were 2 times the sales of £15 ticket. So, how many tickets were sold? Okay. To solve this problem, or to get the numbers of tickets were sold in a concert, we can use the simultaneous equations method, okay, which is elimination and substitution method. But before that, because this problem is in words, in sentences, there is no equations yet, so you need to make the sentences into equations, or you have to make the math model of these sentences. Okay, so there are some key points. The first one is you need to define your variables. Sometimes you might get confused about which part that will become the variable. Well, actually, it's very easy. As long as you know the goal, yes, the goal of the problem, yes, what object that you need to find, so that's the variable. The key is the variable is the goal of the problems. What are the goals? What object that you need to know? What object, what number that you need to find? That's the variable. You can find the variable in the questions. Yeah, in the question. Okay, just like this. How many tickets were sold? It means we need to find the number of 10 pounds ticket and the number of 15 pounds ticket, right? So we can transform 10, divine 10 pounds ticket as some variables and 15 pounds ticket as another variables. It's very easy as long as you know the goal, okay? Second point is, after you define the variables, you need to write equations to represent each sentence from the question. As I said before, the problem are in sentences. So you need to write the sentences into the equations. Okay, that's the second point. And then the third point is, after you define the variable, after you write the equations, after that, just use the elimination and substitution method to find or to solve the simultaneous equations that you got from the problem. Okay, so let's solve the tickets problem here, yes? Okay then, so let's follow the key points. The first key point is we need to define the variable. As I said before, we know that the goal is we need to find how many 10 pounds ticket and how many 15 pounds tickets sold for the concert, right? So there are two variables that we need to find. So let number of 10 pounds tickets sold as variable X and number of 15 pound tickets sold as variable Y. Okay, so you did the first key point, and after that let's move to the next key point. We need to write equations to represent each sentence from the questions. So there's some sentence here. First one is, the total taking from sales of ticket was 8,750 pounds. The total takings from sales. As we know that the price of the ticket is $10, 10 pounds or 15 pounds. So we can get 8,750 pounds by 10x, 10 times the number of 10 pounds ticket sold, plus 15y, 15 pounds times 15 pounds ticket sold. We will get 8,750. This is the first equation. And then the next sentence is, sales of 10 pounds tickets were two times the sales of 15 pounds tickets. It means the X, which is the number of 10 pounds ticket, is twice, two times Y, which is two times the number of 15 pounds tickets sold. So if we need to arrange it into the general form of linear equation, so we can write this as x minus 2y equals 2 as a second equation. Okay, now we have the simultaneous equation here, which are 10x plus 15y equals 8,750, and then the second one is x minus 2y equals 0. And we can jump into the next key point, which is we have to solve these simultaneous equations. Okay, so let's eliminate one variable. We can try to eliminate x. So let's because they have different coefficients, so let's make them the same. So let's multiply 1 to the first equation and multiply 10 to the second equation, and we will get the new simultaneous equation over here, which are 10x plus 15y equals 8,750, and the second one is 10x minus 20y equals 0. Okay, so now we can eliminate x first. We can eliminate x, okay, by subtracting these two equations. Okay, 10x minus 10x is 0, and 15y minus negative 20y, minus and negative double negative, so we can multiply them and transform it into plus. It means 15 plus 20, and we will get 35y. And 8,750 minus 0 is 8,750. And from this equation, we can divide both sides with 35. And we will get y equals 250. Okay, so y is 250. And now let's find the x. Okay, so to find the x, we need to substitute 250 as the value of y into the one of the original equations. So we can choose which one. I will choose the second one here, 10x minus 20y equals 0. And then I will substitute 250 as the value of y here. So the equation will be like this. And 10x minus 5,000 equals 0. And we can remove negative 5,000 by add 5,000 to both sides, and we will get 10x equals 5,000, and then divide both sides with 10, and x equals 500. And now we get x is 500, and then y is 250. X is number of 10 pounds tickets. So the number of 10 pounds tickets sold is 500 tickets, and number of 15 pounds tickets sold is 250 tickets. Don't forget to always check your answer. Check your answer, yeah. Don't forget. Let's check the answer. Let us substitute x as 500 and y as 250 to one of the original equation. We can substitute it to here. X minus 2y equals 0. So let's do this. X is 500. Check the answer, yeah. 500 minus 2 times 250. So 500 minus 500, it's 0. It's correct, right? So these numbers are correct. Okay, so the question is how many tickets were sold. So there were 500 plus 250 equals 750 tickets sold for the concert. So this is how you the example about how you solve real life problem using simultaneous equations. So if you have further questions, don't be hesitate to ask your teacher just using your WhatsApp group or private WhatsApp, or you can use the Microsoft Teams also to ask your teacher about some topic that you don't understand. And here is the exercise that you have to do. You just have to do number 1 and number 2. And if you want some extra points, you can work on the problem in this blue table below. Don't forget to write the questions and the solutions on your notebook because I will check it in the first day of school, actually in Monday. Okay? Good luck, everyone. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to do all the assignments before the due date, and I'll see you soon. God bless you all.